Wizard101, an MMORPG game that most people have probably heard of at some point. This game came out in September 2nd, 2008 and was produced by a company named KingsIsle. And boy, is it a game. I first started playing it around 2011, and it was undoubtedly a very, very hit game in the early 2000s. This game shaped my childhood every day after I came home from elementary school. That was the only game that I would play. Not even Club Penguin, not even Animal Jam. It was only Wizard 101. And if you've never played before, I highly recommend doing it now, as Wizard 101's first 5 worlds are free from now until January 1st, 2023, spanning the first arc of the storyline, which is where I'm going to be focusing on today. One of my favorite parts about Wizard 101 is that it made me feel special as a kid. And I know that it's a bit silly to talk about it now, but my experience with Wizard 101 is far from being over in my childhood. But whenever you first pick up the game, you're taken to a character creation scene where you can go through a personality test and find out what kind of magic school fits best with you. And you're basically sorted into your own Hogwarts house at that point. And I find that very interesting, as it's very easy to understand for kids, and it's just a general personality quiz that tends to cover most people's personalities and sort them into one goal. While in this tutorial phase of the game, you're introduced to Headmaster Ambrose and his trusty sentient owl named Gamma. Except the game immediately breaks the fourth wall and calls attention to the fact that you are not from this place, which is confusing as a kid considering the headmaster is a human. So are most of the students in Wizard City. And this made me feel excited, like I was actually playing the game and being a wizard, which was one of my childhood dreams. And I was helping remove evil from the universe that they call the Spiral. Did I say evil? That's right. In the game's tutorial, you are immediately met with the villain of the first arc, Malistaire Drake. He is the estranged death professor who is no longer welcome in Wizard City. And this is where I kind of start to nerd out as the game begins to start. He immediately tries to kill you guys, which is maybe not appropriate for a kid's game at first, but put an excuse on that for right now. And the professor, instead of, handling the danger by himself and keeping the child away from harm, he kind of just tasks you with defending yourself, which is child neglect at its finest. But let's choose to skip over that for right now. After beating the henchman, Malistaire makes a hasty retreat while hurling insults and demeaning you the entire battle. But Ambrose instead congratulates you and gives you a wand and a spellbook, which is where the tutorial ends and the story begins, where you are tasked with helping out around town and skipping class. Which is totally how you get good grades, right? Just save the universe and you get 50 points of extra credit. I mean, I'd be interested in that. Not only is the game unique, but the player's choices are unique as well. When it comes to deck building within the game, using spell cards as a mechanic is like the game's Hearthstone by Blizzard Entertainment or Magic the Gathering by Richard Garfield. With 627 spell cards and many, many more to be added, Wizard 101 can have many different spell combinations within the game. Many players talk on forums like Reddit and converse with each other to find the most efficient spells to use within combat of the game. This mechanic provides a random yet unique experience for each combat scenario, as the cards are shuffled and 7 are drawn at any given round within the game. The game is chock full of side quests, main quests, and mini-games. The main quest line alone will take upwards of years, even if you play for 6 hours a day at a minimum. Even I haven't completely caught up on the game, and I just now reached the final world of the second arc. It's called Chrysalis, and it takes approximately 5 weeks to complete. And I haven't even gotten anywhere close to the third arc, and the fourth arc is finally kicking off with the release of Caramel and Novus. For a game so strikingly unique in its open-world style and magic card game, there's a lot of content that once you get older, you realize there's a lot of nods to history scattered in there as well. Like in the land of Crocotopia, where the final boss is a crocodile named Crocopatra, while in Marleybone, the final boss is a sphinx cat named Meowiardi, and you'll kind of see where I'm going with this. In the game, there are a lot of nods and puns related to Earth, and the game breaks the fourth wall very often through this, which is where it feels very unique as a game, that they were copying my world in a way. The game is still active today, and I am in love with it. Been paying the monthly membership for about 4 years now, playing whenever I get a chance, especially during 2020, when the pandemic landed me at home with nothing to do and a gaming PC at my disposal. I went to work grinding away at Wizard101. And I hope this might let you be persuaded to give it a chance or pick it back up now that the first arc is free for everyone right now. So grab your wand and your spellbook, because we're about to save the spiral. Now, we always have to. It's gotta be. You always have to have at least one character named Taylor Swift. You always have to have a character named Taylor Swift.